Is it important, really, to go to church on Sunday? Good morning, guys and girls. It's January 12th. I'm going to read from our Catch of the Day, 365-day daily devotional, scripture, and fishing tip. We're going to look at a verse from Exodus, way back there. Exodus 23. You must not have any gods except me. That was God talking to the children of Israel. You must not have any gods except me. And they had all kinds of gods. They had all kinds of gods back in those days. We all remember the golden calf that they made. They had lots of gods back in those days. But God told them, you must not have any other gods except me. Here was my devotional on that. For many people, their passion about something becomes their religion. Fishing is one of those passions that can become almost a religious experience. I don't know how many times I've heard someone talk about getting closer to God when they're out on the lake. You know, the reason I'm out on the lake on Sunday instead of church, I'm really getting close to God. Others tell me that they can worship God better on the lake on Sunday than in a church with a bunch of Christians who might be hypocrites. I didn't write it down this way, but a lot of them are hypocrites. But when we do this, we're really not worshiping God at all. We're making fishing our God. At the very least, we're guilty of worshiping God's creation, those lakes and streams and rivers and places we like to fish. This is really the same as worshiping the moon or the stars. And a lot of people do that, even today. God commands us to assemble, to worship Him and Him only. So, is it important to go to church on Sunday? Yes, sir, it is. Yes, ma'am, it is. Take your kids and your grandkids with you, too. Probably one of the greatest things that my mom and dad did for me was dragging me to church. And they did it just about every time the church doors opened. Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, Tuesday night prayer meeting. We went to Vacation Bible School. We went to Falls Creek Christian Camp during the summer for a week. We were just drugged to church every time the door. And I didn't always want to go. I didn't always want to go. I got to tell you, as I've matured in my life, I really want to go to church. We go to church a lot out on the roads when we're fishing tournaments or filming out around the country. We've been able to go to lots and lots of churches around this country, and it's a great experience. But that's where Christians assemble to worship God together, is in church. And if you're going, fantastic. If you're not, you might ought to think about that and kind of including that in your week. All right, let's look and see what we got for a tip for today. Wintertime tip, shad die-off in extremely cold weather can really trigger good bass fishing. And let me tell you, that's absolutely the truth. Watch for a shad die-off. Now, in most of our man-made lakes, it's easy to see a shad die-off because we can watch the birds and see where that shad die-off is happening. We'll see the seagulls and stuff diving down into the water. Because what happens when the shad die off, they're dying because of cold weather, cold water. They won't always die, but a good percentage of them die. You know, and now shad are real prolific, and they, you know, when they spawn all summer long, you got billions and billions of shad in the lake. So a shad die-off is probably God's way of controlling the shad population properly in the lake. But we need a lot of shad. Shad is, you know, great food for the fish. But you want to watch for those shad die-offs. And a lot of times, those shad die-offs will happen in really deep water, and you're thinking, my goodness, these shad are dying, but I'm out here in 30 or 40, 50 foot of water. Those bass will still come and get around that shad die-off, and a lot of times when that's happening, that you want to be fishing 30 and 40 and 50 foot deep. Don't be afraid. Now, that's the time you want to take maybe a spoon, and drop the spoon down on the bottom and jig a spoon, stuff like that. With the locators we've got now, you can find that shad die-off if it's happened under the water. You could certainly find those bass down in that deep water. So kind of watch for that shad die-off. It can be a really good clue to help you catching wintertime bass at the time when not many people are out there fishing for them. Hey, guys and girls, go out there and have a great day. I love you.